Module 4 Case Study Response. There are differing motivations for the virtual team members. The main motivation for most was to solve the issue using their individual unique skills, either alone or as a two-person team. Motivation is the term used to describe intrapersonal experiences that influence behavior. We don't see the motivation, but we see the behavior, as described in section 5.3.1. The behavior was to act in isolation. Without a team connection, there was not motivation to collaborate as a team. I would describe the LMX in this case as undeveloped interpersonal relationships. The relationship an individual develops with his or her supervisor is one of the most important of the primary communication experiences in organizational life, and relates to how well individuals perform and their overall measures of organizational satisfaction. Individuals who are satisfied with organizational communication experiences are more likely to be effective partners and to be satisfied with their jobs than those who have less positive communication relationships, as described in section 5.2. These experiences are with supervisors and peers, and are so influential that they contribute to the quality and quantity of an individual's work. Supervisor influence is the relationship between a supervisor and an employee, and is influenced not only by the amount of openness and support between the two, but also by the amount of influence the supervisor has in satisfying the employee's needs, as described in section 5.5.1. With no team development, the supervisor is not aware of the individual's needs within the virtual team. The peer relationships might be improved for the virtual team if they were given face-to-face time needed to create the team atmosphere. Peers help us learn about the culture of the organization. They share tasks and troubleshoot work-related problems. Peers should be given time to engage in socializing inside the work environment and share a variety of important life events as described in section 5.5.2. Technology influences the interpersonal relationships on the virtual team. Under certain conditions, being in a virtual team due to technological influence can lead to negative consequences such as an increased pressure for conformity and impaired decision making. We would expect technological mediation to affect the different components of cohesiveness, with the potential to reduce interpersonal attraction, group pride, and task commitment. There are cultural influences in the virtual team which need to be understood. Cultural intelligence refers to an individual's ability to understand the behaviors of other people in terms of three classifications, including those that are universally human, those that are specific to an individual, and those that are rooted in culture, all described in section 5.9.1. In this case study, we even see a cultural stereotype when the male attempts to enact a more proactive role and command more of the group's resources, whereas the female leader was assumed to be less active and generally more compliant during the group deliberations. Fortunately, the female lead ignored the male's outdated cultural influence. An additional cultural influence could be the differing native languages represented and how the virtual team could negotiate this dynamic in the event of a crisis.